Squishy Squad sold out in 8 minutes. It's doing huge numbers on the secondary market. Let's jump in and check out the post-drop stats. If you don't know what Squishy Squad is, it is BentoBoi's NFT project. And BentoBoi is a YouTuber. He's got 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. And if you actually want to get an overview of Squishy Squad, you can hear it from the man himself. Here's a link to his video. You can watch that after this video, of course. Anyway, let's jump over to OpenSea to get a snapshot of the project before we get into the price charts. We can see that they've got the 8,888, 4,500 owners, which is a very good, healthy distribution, with a floor price of 0.15, which is above the 0.08 mint, which is quite high. And then the volume traded says that it's 360, but this actually isn't the case, and I'll show you when we jump over onto Nansen. Having a look at the 24-hour market overview, we can see Squishy Squad has come in at number 8, but it's very close to flipping Meta Legends when it comes down to volume. So I can see Squishy Squad kind of still playing out quite a little bit. When we have a look at Squishy Squad, the project itself, we can see that it was deployed 3 days ago and it was doing a long pre-sale, and then we've got the NFTs in circulation. When we have a look, we can actually see the run up. Now this is a very interesting chart, and this is kind of what you want to see when it comes down to an NFT project. The fact is the average price was in an uptrend the whole way. There was a lot of FOMO on the sort of day before the public release. Then it kind of wicked down because everyone obviously got it on at mint price, but then it bounced back up. And the average price is currently sitting at that 0.15. Now this is pre-release, so that will kind of keep the prices artificially high. And typically with a project, the floor price drops after reveal. Now, when it comes down to the individual transactions, this is over the last 8-hour period, so after the sale, and you can see that it is sitting very flat. Now, having this line, which is the moving average, sitting flat is good. It's not a good sign if it's sort of trending down, but it's nice that it's sitting flat. It shows that the community is rallying behind BentoBoi and this project. Also, I'll butt in real quick and say the tool that I'm using here is Nansen. You can actually check out a tutorial that I've done for it up there. It's long. Nansen is a paid software, but it is very deep when it comes down to the analytics and what you can actually get from the tools and the insights when it comes down to NFT. So you can check that out after you've watched this video, of course. Let's jump back into it. Now, when it comes down to the top balances, there are some heavy hitters in this project. The top buyer has 123, the next one 100, and then coming in at number 3 is journeyclub.eth. Now this is the sort of essentially the community marketing giveaway wallet, so 100 of the Squishy Squads have gone to that. Now the reason that this is important is the fact that JRNY, this was their first project on the actual platform to launch, the first Launchpad project. So that's why that actually kind of comes into play here. And that's why this makes sense if you're not across that. And then rounding it out, we go 40, 32, and then rounding out essentially the top 20 is 23. So there is a very big difference in between sort of the top 20 when it comes down to it, but it shows you that there are some people capping out. Now, the reason that we're getting around this 24, 23 mark is that there was a limit of purchasing of 32 when it came down, 32 per wallet when it came down to this project and minting. So you can see here that people have kind of jumped in and snagged up as much as they really could to ensure that they actually secured the sale. Now, the top balances over time, nothing we can take away from here because it's only essentially been a day. And the other thing that is nice is there is a lot of data for smart money, which is good to see. It shows that there are a lot of people in this when it comes down to smart money. So it shows that they kind of see where this is. But I do believe a lot of this smart money would have come in from the JRNY Launchpad sort of pre-mint sale. Now, when we get down to the unique addresses and the holders in this project, it's currently sitting at 5,400. Now, this is a good number, seeing there's essentially 9,000 in this project. Now, what I will say is that with the JRNY Launchpad, they were only able to mint 1. So right before the sort of public sale, there was a very large sort of proportion of holders. So everyone could only really get 1. So it meant a very good distribution, hence why that number is quite high. Now, when we come down to the fact of percentage holding one NFT, this speaks to the fact that there were those people that did get in on the pre-mint and only had 1, and then they doubled down and essentially bought more up. And we're currently sitting at 79% holding 1 NFT. Overall, the percentage holding 1 NFT and the unique addresses. This is very nice, very healthy. This is where you want to see it when it comes down to a project. Now, next up is the profit leaderboard. When we have a look at the profit leaderboard, we can see here that these aren't insane numbers. At 0.62 ETH is the top profit taker, and rounding out the top 20 is 0.3. Now, what you will notice is that everyone here bought 16, sold 16, bought 16, sold 16. Everyone essentially has exited the project that's kind of done these flips, and they've essentially made sort of half an ETH to like sort of a third of an ETH, which isn't bad, but that's kind of where this is sitting. So the mindset of these top profit takers is completely out of the project. It's nice when the top profit takers maybe have 10, sell 8, they're sitting in decent profit and they're kind of riding more with house money. But seeing this, it seems like these profit takers don't see any longevity or see much more upside when it comes down to the project. Saying that, with these profit takers actually kind of distributing their holdings, it's going into the hands on the secondary market and contributing to that sort of a good healthy volume on the secondary market, and essentially getting the hands of people in the community. Now, when it comes down to the volume and the activity on Squishy Squad, what we can see here is that it's moving fast, very fast. So over a 1 hour period, it's getting around that sort of 15 to 20 sales. And at this point in time, it should actually be slowing down and everyone's kind of sleeping. This was moving super fast, and that's what's contributed to that around 650 ETH worth of secondary sales. So everything's moving quite fast when it comes down to this project. Now, what I will say is that I think there will be a price ceiling at some point, is that there are lots and lots of people that are holding more than one. So the price, if it does get to sort of a 4 or a 5x, there are lots of people that can then offload and sort of dump onto the market, which will then kind of cap that ceiling. That's where I kind of see this going. Saying that, the one kind of sort of curveball that's thrown into the mix is the fact that BentoBoi is a personality. He's got an influence, and people are holding onto this project because they like him and what he's going to be doing. And there's this attachment that's more than just sort of the art and the project. It comes down to the personality themselves. So what do I think of Squishy Squad and the mint? Now, I will say that I am a little bit salty. I actually minted this project, but failed transaction, didn't pump the gas up high enough and it failed. It is what it is. That's how I like to play the game. I don't want to pay too much gas, and I'd rather sort of gamble on that failed transaction. What worries me is the fact that BentoBoi is going to have a lot of fans, a lot of his sort of YouTube sort of subscribers, a lot of the people in the Discord, people that have been there for a long time supporting him. This may have been their first NFT, and they wouldn't have been able to get their hands on one because there was a limit of 8 per transaction and a limit of 32 per wallet. So what this meant is it meant that people with larger hands that have played the game before would have kind of put in 8, pumped up the gas, know they would have gotten it, and then flipped them on the secondary market, which I'm not too much of a fan of, because I think that it should have gone into the hands of the community and the people that actually really wanted it. That's what I would have liked. But saying that, if I had ended up getting one, I don't think we'd be having this conversation right now. When it comes down to the project and the post-launch stats, this looks very healthy. This looks very, very good. I do believe that if the price is to drop after reveal, I think it might get to the 0.1. I don't think it'll ever drop below the mint price, because I feel like there is enough demand to kind of keep this pumped up and keep it going. I do think there will be a price ceiling at some point. If it did get to a 0.25, I think there will be major sell-offs, because there are a lot of large holders when it comes down to this project. And if they can then make a sort of a 3, 4, 5x, they're then going to offload, take some profits, and then ride with house money essentially. So that's what I can kind of see long term when it comes down to it. The major driving factor when it comes down to this is the momentum of the team and BentoBoi pushing this forward, like in every single video, really kind of pumping this out. If the Squishy Squad team can make some absolute banger tools and people can then end up making more money using the tools to trade NFTs than they have buying the NFT itself, that's going to increase the value of the NFT. And that's where I believe that they're going, because there will be some long-term legacy aspect that they will be playing for here, and not just trying to sort of run up some cash and then dip out. They're going to be playing for a long-term legacy and really add to the space. So that's where I see see it going. Short term, I think it will stay above mint. Longer term, I think it will cap out until there is a distribution of the owners when it comes down to this project. So overall, I hope you found value in this video. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really does help out with the YouTube algorithm. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.